And talking about important questions, here's one that the United States should ask itself. Why can't we ban guns? Every day it's the same headline. Teen goes on a shooting rampage at school. Gunman opens fire at supermarket. Different day, different location, same story. Thursday was no different. There were 2 gun attacks. One was in Iowa. The gunman shot 2 women and turned the gun on himself. The second was in Wisconsin. 2 people were wounded while attending a burial. Literally nowhere is safe in America. Schools, supermarkets, parks, even churches and burial grounds. Makes you wonder, what is the US government doing? Every time there's an attack, Joe Biden does the same thing. He comes on TV, he criticizes the Republicans, he claims he's helpless, and then he walks off. And on Thursday, he did the same.
We need to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. And if we can't ban assault weapons, then we should raise the age to purchase them from 18 to 21. Strengthen background checks. Enact safe storage law and red flag laws.
If only Joe Biden knew someone powerful, someone who is America's head of state and government, someone who directs the federal government, someone who commands the US armed forces. Well, actually, he does. It's Joe Biden himself. The US president cannot pass the buck here. Yes, he needs Congress to implement gun control, but he too can make a difference. Biden could use his vast executive powers. Now, what does that mean? It means that Joe Biden can change the way existing laws are implemented. He cannot make new laws, yes, but he can bolster existing ones. For example, he can use trade policy to control the number of guns on the market. Less gun production, less gun sales. He could also tweak background checks, basically make it harder for people to buy guns. Or he could go after the gun lobby. They spent $15.8 million on lobbying last year, and Biden has done nothing to stop them. So this charade of helplessness has to end. Biden cannot keep kicking this issue to Congress because, let's face it, Congress is not going to implement gun control, and I'll show you why. On Thursday, the House Judiciary Committee held an urgent meeting on guns. Democrats were pushing for gun control, and guess what a Republican congressman had to say on that? Take a look.
This gun would be banned under this bill. Here's a gun I carry every single day to protect myself, my family, my wife, my home. This is a XL 6-hour P365. Comes with a 15-round magazine. Here's a 7-round magazine, which would be less than what would be lawful under this bill if this bill were to become law. It doesn't fit. So this gun would be banned.
Just a reminder, this week, America is burying 19 school children in Texas, 19 children who were killed with guns. And this so-called lawmaker is waving his gun at a congressional meeting. This is America at its best. Do you know what this episode reveals? A broken system, a system where you see perfection in yourself but fault in others. Just think about it. Have you heard any world leader talk about this gun menace? Some have condemned it, yes, but not a single one has criticized the American leadership for what's happening there. And do you know why? Because it's easy to judge, but hard to make a difference. It's a lesson that the US is yet to learn. On Thursday, they released their annual report on religious freedoms, aka their preaching guide. Every country has a separate chapter in this report, every country except the United States itself. Well, here's what the chapter on India says. And I'm quoting, attacks on members of religious minority communities, including killings, assaults, and intimidation, occurred throughout the year. These included incidents of cow vigilantism against non-Hindus based on allegations of cow slaughter or trade in beef. US officials went a step ahead. They accused the Indian government and its officials of instigating hatred. You have to listen to this.
In India, some officials are ignoring or even supporting rising attacks on people and places of worship.
India has responded. Its External Affairs Ministry has rejected this criticism, and I'll read out India's response. It is unfortunate that vote bank politics is being practiced in international relations. We would urge that assessments based on motivated inputs and biased views be avoided. Short but to the point. What gives the United States the authority to judge India? This is a country where people die because of their skin color, where children are shot dead in high school. America should be the last country judging anybody else. So why do they do it? Yesterday, India's foreign minister gave some insight. He wasn't speaking about the US, he was speaking about Europe and Asia. But the logic fits perfectly here. Listen to this.
No, somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. That if it is you, it's yours. If it is me, it's ours. I think that's something, and I see, reflections of that.
Classic Western attitude. If India has problems, criticism floods in. It is the sole responsibility of the government, domestic politics, fringe groups. None of those technicalities matter. But if the US has a problem, there is no criticism. Joe Biden happily blames Republicans and the world moves on. How convenient is the system? You make the rules, you enforce the rules, but the rules don't apply to you. Anti-Asian hate crimes in the US are up 339% up under Joe Biden. And what does the president do? He invites K-pop band BTS to the White House, as if that will magically make things better. It's about time somebody held a mirror to the US, because what they see will overwhelm them. Gun terror, racism, anti-Asian hate, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. I could go on. One chapter may not be enough for America. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.